Dieting is done by many people to lose weight by reducing the amount of food eaten or only consuming certain foods. Most dietary activities emphasize the dangers of consuming fat. However, some also encourage us to consume more fat. Some diets also prohibit consuming sugar and various other things. So, which diet is actually the best for dieting? Let's start with sugar. Actually, here's a fun fact about sugar that's less known. In the 1960s, the sugar industry financed research that made the risk of sugar consumption seem less important and instead emphasized the dangers of fat. They wanted to deny any possible involvement of sugar in heart disease, so they sponsored research by top universities. In 1980, research came out stating that consuming excess fat would increase the risk of heart disease. The United States Department of Agriculture responded to this by creating dietary guidelines that recommend avoiding fat, leading to the production of low-fat foods. Indeed, not everything in nutrition is always black or white. There are no clear boundaries that define what is bad and what is good. Why? Well, carbohydrates are divided into several types. These are simple carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates. Sugar is a form of carbohydrate. Scientifically, it is called sucrose. Other forms of complex carbohydrates include starch, such as those we find in bread, rice, beans, and potatoes. Scientists' main concern is with refined carbohydrates, which we find in pretty much everything we eat, such as carbonated drinks, snacks like chocolate and candy, and even flour and noodles, bread and fried foods. But why do refined carbohydrates attract so much negativity? Unlike natural carbohydrates, they are the type of carbohydrates we call empty calories. Foods that contain refined carbohydrates often contain only small amounts of nutrients such as vitamins and minerals. However, the foods we mentioned earlier taste so good that many people can't live without it. It's difficult for us to resist these foods. That's why for the past 30 years, developed countries have experienced obesity pandemics. Therefore, although Indonesia has not yet reached alarming levels of obesity, we still have to pay attention to what we eat. Refined carbohydrates do taste good, but it's not fair if we blame everything on them. So, let's try to dig up information about its rivals, especially that of fat. Misinformation about fat is everywhere. In fact, many health experts may still label fast as unhealthy. Because many people are hesitant about accepting the benefits of fat, we should remember its function in our body. Fat makes up a large part of our cell membranes. It helps regulate body temperature and allows us to fare better in colder climates, as well as aiding the absorption of vitamin A, D, E, and vitamin K. Fat is not just fat. There are several types that are good. For instance, omega-3 and 9 found in nuts, fish, avocado, and olive oil. But there are also bad fats. Trans fats, usually found in margarine, cakes, cooking oil, and other non-natural oils. Naturally occurring oils can also turn into trans fats when heated to high temperatures. Trans fats are bad for our bodies because they trigger inflammation that can lead to various conditions such as heart disease, stroke, and various digestive problems. In conclusion, whatever diet you choose, you will be better off consuming foods that don't go through too much processing. The fewer processes the food goes to get into our body, the better. Though remember, carbohydrates and fats can also be eaten in moderation. If you find the information in this video useful, please share it with your friends to help them understand it too. Don't forget to subscribe to continue supporting our channel. If there is a topic that you want us to discuss, you can write it in the comments column for us to see. Thank you, and see you in the next video.